All right, game number 5, 4-0, playing for the trophy. Let's see if this can be trophy number 32. I will keep. Ballistic Coil has been pretty good these last games. It's definitely best in multiples, or to complement the other Prowess creatures. Technically this isn't Prowess, but I call it a Prowess creature because it's pretty close. But we have been seeing them in multiples, and the extra aggression has actually helped out a lot. So, kind of like the mix that playing the 12 Prowess creatures and playing the Seasoned Pyromancer provides, as far as having both grind and potential for pretty quick kills. It's pretty nice. So burn is kind of a crapshoot. I want to say that I'm favored because I have won quite a few games against burn, but honestly I've also lost quite a few. I'm obviously biased in favor of wanting this choice to be the overall better one, so I'm inclined to think that my matchup is a bit favored. But objectively speaking, it's probably unclear. Maybe it's safer to say that this is pretty much even. This does depend a lot more on what their draws are, though, than what my draws are, because if they curve out and if they hit like exactly 3 lands, sometimes even just 2 lands is fine, and no more, they don't draw lands for the rest of the game, a lot of times there's really nothing we can do. So, considering that being at 12 is a world of difference than being at 14, I'm going to do the unthinkable, and I'm actually going to block. You got to remember that saving 2 life sometimes is like countering a spell. And if it would have been worth it to counter a 2 damage spell, which a lot of times it is actually, then believe it or not, it's actually worth it to. Of course, getting it off the table is what we have to do. But yeah, so a lot of times chump blocking, yeah, a lot of times it has the same effect as countering a burn spell. So doesn't mean it's always correct to do that, but don't feel as bad about chump blocking as you might think. A lot of the games I've won against burn, a lot, I was at like 2 life, one or 2 life. So, and it looks like they are stuck on 2 lands, which is actually good for them, very bad for us. It means their hand is all gas. We want them to flood. That's basically how this matchup goes, is we're crossing our fingers and hoping they flood. Which you'd think that would make this a bad matchup, but the reason why it's not quite is because a lot of times they have to use some of their burn spells on our creatures, because we do threaten to kill them on turn 3 or 4 as well. And that slows them down usually just enough that that they sometimes draw lands in their last few draws. Because if you think about it, sometimes you don't even notice if you would mana flood if you don't make it far enough in the game. If you only see like 12 cards, the whole rest of the 7 cards at the top of your deck might be land, so you might be horribly mana flooded. But if you win before then, you never notice it. So basically what I'm trying to say is that because we drag the game out a bit, it does increase the chances that they flood just a little bit. So, I mean, that again, we're actually in a spot where they have to flood a bit. If they do, then Obosh almost certainly wins on turn 6, which is quite late, and they haven't used any burn spells on my creatures. So this hand is, I think they took a mulligan. It's definitely not the best for them. But at the same time, it's not entirely impossible to think we might pull this one out, even though this has been quite an exceptionally slow hand. Well, definitely Obosh here. It also blocks too. Realistically, I think there's more likely that somehow they. Nah, 2 creatures won't do it. It's either they have 2 burn spells or not. That's it. Well, let's see if it's one of these games I win at 1 life. They do something on upkeep. Alright. Oh, or maybe not. Alrighty. Well, see what I mean about, you know, well, we don't know if we won yet, but yeah, it's a, see, if I didn't chump block, that was it. That would have been completely it. Yeah, if they got main deck deflecting palm, you know, then I'm dead anyway. So. Well, close. Alrighty. So, game plan here. Lava Dart is by far the weakest. You do not want to be losing a land to deal with their creatures. Sometimes you have to, but not ideally where you want to be. I'm going to bring in all 4 Blood Moons. Like I explained before, there is actually some benefit to turning off the Horizon lands. I am on all 4. That does make the burn matchup a bit worse. And it actually is pretty helpful that it shuts them off. But more importantly, it prevents them from casting their white spells. And even though, you know, I think a lot of people would assume that as a base red deck without that many white spells, that Blood Moon would be a blank against them. It's just not. And the reason why is because if it shuts down even one spell, that can, you know, as we saw in that game, that can be the difference between winning and losing. You know, it's like a preemptive counterspell in a way. But oftentimes it will shut down, say 2. I mean, maybe usually not more than that. But it's just, you like I said, this game really comes down to more their draws than ours. And, you know, therefore cards that prevent them from playing their cards that they draw are just generally better than cards that advance our strategy. That's just how this game goes. They're kind of more the beatdown in a way you could say. Now, for the last 2 cuts, I do want to play Kozilek's Return. And I will be cutting 2 Seasoned Pyromancers for them. And this is actually a new strategy. Historically, I have played the Seasoned Pyromancers. I like the way that they gum up the board. But the reality is that we actually really want them to be killing our creatures earlier, and Blister Coil Weirds incentivize that, take some pressure off our life total, and of course also we could get a quicker kill. You know, increases the likelihood of a quick kill with the Blister Coils. They don't synergize too well with Kozilek's Return, but then again, neither does Seasoned Pyromancer, so this is going to be the plan. Of course, Kozilek's Return is great against Core Firewalker. Also, the ideal would be Blood Moon shuts off any further Core Firewalkers, and then a Kozilek's Return will pretty much take care of any Firewalkers that are on the table. And the reason why it's actually okay, it's not terrible, that Kozilek's Return is a bit delayed and you know, takes a little while at 3 mana, and sometimes we don't have it immediately because we only have 2 copies, is because Core Firewalker is good, but it is a bit slow, and we don't actually care that much about their life gain. We care a lot more about the unblockable 2 damage that they present. So it's tempting to throw off a Firebolt here, but the reality is, I think the only creature that really incentivizes me to use Firebolt would be Monastery Swiftspear. Otherwise, it's basically the same card, but this has the ability to go to the face. So I am going to hold on to Fireball. I'm guessing this is a Firewalker. It's not the end of the world. It's funny how it always seems like they have it, but I think they mold to it because they seem a little low on cards. Yeah, it feels like they always have it, but number one, they don't. I've actually played a lot of games where they don't play this on turn 2. Typically, they play only, I think, 3 copies. I personally, if I played Core Firewalker, I wouldn't play less than 3. I don't really see the point of playing only 2. So they don't always see it. Even if they play all 4, it's still not a guarantee they see it. I mean, I boarded on all 4 Blood Moons. I don't have 1. But, you know, they might not attack. And if they don't attack, then you know, they are kind of, in a way, waiting to get blown out eventually by Return to Kozilek. They're probably going to attack, but thankfully 8/2/2 and nothing more is a bit slow. So if they do attack here, well, they have a burn spell, I guess. Well, the good news is I think I can double block the Goblin Guide pretty freely. And they do seem a bit low on gas. Yeah, I'm blocking the Goblin Guide for sure. And then I'm going to Firebolt the Swift Spear. And you know, as you can see, we're not in terrible shape, at least not yet. It's really the unblockable constant stream of 2 damage from poor Firewalker that is the most menacing. But as far as creatures go, it is a bit slow. Although if it connects twice, it is a Boros Charm, though. So there's that. So I might not even play this Sunbaked Canyon. Kind of not too much of a downside to doing so. I highly doubt that I'm going to play. Yeah, I'm going to just put Obosh in hand. Only way this gets punished is if a haste creature gets drawn. Well, I guess there's the punish. Could just take it and go down to 3. I mean, it's the same either way. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll just take and go down to 3 because realistically, I think I'm playing towards the kill next turn with Obosh. Blood Moon will increase the chances that they don't draw a burn spell next turn, but I think I have to still play Obosh because the core Firewalker is going to kill me in 2 attacks anyway. Oh, actually, what am I saying? That made it so that yeah, the 4 Horizon Land's definitely being a problem here. So I think we have to bolt the Swift Spear and just hope that draw another burn spell, or don't draw another haste creature, and hopefully, and I don't even know. I guess I have to draw Lava Dart. If I draw Lava Dart, I think that's a win. They draw blank, I draw Lava Dart. I mean, they'll gain 3 life, but I will deal 6 and 6 is 12. 4 from the Lava Dart, that's be down to 22. Minus 12. No, that's still nowhere near enough. That's game. I guess might as well ditch the Obosh. Looking for the Kozilek's Return, that's about it. Nope. Yeah, I mean, it was really the Horizon Lands there that became a problem. Alright, let's run this back again. Because I think we would have won that if we if we could have been able. I mean, assuming that it wasn't a white burn spell. Or though maybe not, because I would have had to burn the Swift Spear. Nah, actually, that was a pretty poor hand regardless. Drew 2 lands off the top. So well, but you know, there's still a pretty good chance. Let's put it that way. I was very much in that game despite the Firewalker. Well, risky, but gotta take a chance sometimes. Unless they play Grim Lavamancer, there really isn't much downside to leading on Blister Coil Weird. It is the better creature for them to kill. Usually I lead on Soulscar to disincentivize a block, but considering that I know the deck they're playing, and I highly doubt they're playing Grim Lavamancer, I think this is better because it's a little, yeah. Although actually, see, Soulscar still would have been better because it could have blocked. Although here actually we actually do want them to attack, so funny enough, it did turn out better. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kill their Swift Spear with the Flame Slash. The only creature that I really would possibly need Flame Slash specifically for is Swift Spear, which is right in front of us. So there could have been some merit to waiting on upkeep to Lightning Bolt to untap the Blister Coil and get the Prowess triggers for a good block if they've got another haste creature. But I think this is worth it. I think I'm going to just go for the attack. Again, if I draw 1-drop creatures, I want to be able to play them. I think it's worth losing out a little bit of damage for. Or this. It's another reason why it can be good to sequence the way I did. Yeah, 2 lands. Yeah, not much reason to blow off a burn spell now, so. And see how they're not on 2 white mana for Core Firewalker. Interesting enough, when I do have the Kozilek's Return. I do like that they have Fiery Islet because this is a little bit of an aggressive hand that could punish this. Huh. I think having the Lightning Bolt up is pretty good here. So I'm going to block and then Lightning Bolt. And the reason why is that they may want to fire off 2 burn spells in order to save it. And if they do, I want to, 1, ensure that it dies, which a block plus a Lightning Bolt will almost assuredly do. And 2, if they want to burn the creature, which is reasonable to do, I want it to gain the value of blocking. So I am going to block, and then I'm going to Lightning Bolt. Alright, took no damage off of that. I think that's a pretty good situation to be in. I might play Eidolon. Alright, going down to 15 is not ideal. You know what? I actually think I'm just going to let this Sunbaked Canyon go. It's just this is one of those matchups where every point of life matters so much, and it's worth cards. So yeah, having to take multiple damage on multiple turns from Sunbaked Canyon, just not worth it. And I'm set up to Obosh next turn. It's not a bad position. I mean, not necessarily out of the woods, but not a bad position. Not a bad play from the opponent, but I have to imagine that that's a good sign. I kind of wish I had a max season Pyromancers here, though. If they do double bolt the Obosh, you know, it's good in the sense that my life total is higher, but it's bad in the sense that if I draw exceptionally poorly, then definitely they're favored, which they always would be. But you know, I'm in sort of the grind portion of the game, and it looks like they will have an answer to this. Well, at least it soaked up a lot of damage. Okay. Well, setting up for a fairly big turn next turn. If they waste another burn spell, that puts them further away from killing me. They also are a white mana away from Core Firewalker, but even if they did draw white mana, I do have the Kozilek's Return. It will kill my own Blister Coil Weird, but I think that's a trade I'm willing to make. Bone Crusher Giant would be pretty nice. No. I think I just go for the Firebolt here. So if they have triple Boros Charm, then we're dead. But the good news is anything short of triple Boros Charm doesn't kill us immediately. Yeah, see what I mean? Their draw seems kind of poor, and you know that's kind of what we need. But I mean, at the same time, it happens. It's not like Burn always has the perfect hand. Feisty. I mean, they're so low on life. I'm almost a Burn deck too at this point. Yeah, a little too feisty. Well, well, well. So, this isn't exactly a slow roll. I'm gonna play it out like this just on the off chance that they have Deflecting Palm. Let's think about this carefully. If I go after the creature, they're incentivized to burn in response. Then I can burn. Yeah, I like it. Again, I don't mean to slow roll. It's just that Deflecting Bomb would be the blowout of blowouts here. All right, and see, then I can respond with this. All right, GG's. Yeah, actually, you know, I heard some people say it's actually impolite to say GG's if you win. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, but definitely didn't mean any impoliteness to Deanna MTG. All right, I guess that is another trophy. So pretty sweet, pretty sweet. All right.